Hey,
I'm looking at
Hey,
I'm looking at an issue right now.
You'll have to send me the link.
It's got 20 minutes left. No bids.
Is it the poster though?
No, it's the Silver Surfer number 3 graded. Hold on. I'm gonna try and figure out how the hell to send this to you.
I'll put my email in here real quick.
Gotta mute my phone.
Yeah, that'd be good. Me and
What?
Bonnie are just over here buying stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff.
That's what I do all the time.
Can we just have this music loop behind us and get DMCA'd and taken down?
We got hit last week because we weren't talking over the other stuff.
DMCA is a mess right now, man.
I like it.
That's right.
Super jelly.
So I went to y'all's GameStop in Shawnee the other
Best
day.
GameStop in all of the company.
No, I like ours better.
Don't
But
criticize my GameStop. I will fight you.
so I got one of those blind thingies, boxes.
Yeah.
They're little ones like this big. Anyways, it was the Arbiter. I got rid of it. I didn't want it.
You could have sent it my way, but whatever.
I give it to my daughter.
Oh,
When
well.
we play Halo 3, she
Your
likes
daughter.
the Arbiter.
She likes
What? Who likes to be the Arbiter?
Whatever. She does. I don't know. It's
Sorry
weird.
for your daughter.
I do
The only
too.
time I picked Arbiter is when you had to, like
Bonnie,
Yeah, exactly.
like it forced you to
Yep.
pick that character.
Bonnie, I
Yeah.
need your email really quick.
I
You
just
got-
put it in the chat.
Yeah, she's already
Oh,
did it.
yeah,
this
Pay
chat.
attention.
Yes,
Bro.
give us your email out
Okay,
publicly so
so-
everyone can see.
So while everybody's doing that, why don't you just go ahead and give out your credit card number, expiration date, and the code on the
Social
back,
security
please?
number?
Blood type, social security number, fecal caloric, makeup.
Okay, so
Here
while
we go.
they're passing along emails and stuff about comics and grading and stuff,
Trying to get Bonnie to buy
we
some
are the
stuff here.
Marauders. Shut up, I'm talking. So
That's
we are
right.
the Marauders. We are the Marauders, and we are here every Thursday at 7:30. And let's go ahead and real quick start with
Start with this guy.
Me?
that guy down there.
I am the captain.
With
I
that.
am the captain. I'm the captain now. Aboard my Carillion light freighter, you caught me mid-jump, which is
Did
going to
we?
be I got about an
Did
hour
we?
left of my jump. How convenient.
So, in the Star Wars lore, where can we communicate live while in hyperspace?
Actually, there is a couple of references on that. I was doing some research on it
Were
just
you?
for this exact moment
you?
because I knew you would ask me about it.
Yeah, I'm going to need to see canonized references of communication through hyperspace. And not just messages. We're talking live feed while in hyperspace.
There's not because they can't directionally
not.
focus it.
See? See? Call him bullshit. He's not in hyperspace, guys. Don't believe the lies of the
even
captain.
when they're in hyperspace, they can't actually collect messages. It has to be messages that were like before they
All
were
right, fine. I'll take off my cloaking
See?
device. You got
now,
me.
look, see?
You got me.
We've
I'll
we've
take off.
exposed
I'll
his
take
lies.
off my holo. I'll take off my holo thing. I got to make it look cool. I'm
Were
fine.
you
I'll
the
take
guy-
off the holo thing.
Are you the guy that just buzzed that jet a couple days ago in New Mexico?
Yeah.
I'm going to call the
I
FBI.
took down the illusion. Are you happy now? I
That's
didn't go
not the right.
anywhere.
That's not the right comic, Shane.
That's Silver Surfer number 3, 1969, Bonnie.
That's not the one I'm looking for.
Well, then you picked the wrong one. Anyways, let's go ahead and go above me. Right
Which
up
one are
here.
you looking for?
Hey, 117.
That's your point, Bonnie. I am 117 in honor of the Lord and Savior, Master Chief. Saved Earth more times than I can think of. Incredible line of books, video games if you never played them. All hail the Chief.
All hell the
Mommy
chief.
issues.
All hail the Chief.
And the far
He
corner.
doesn't have a
Or
mommy.
I'm used to
probably-
pointing the other
Well,
direction.
Halsey. You could say that Dr. Halsey's. Like
Let's not
his mom.
let's not go down this dark road. Halsey
We're not-
is not
we're
his
not
mom.
Motherly romantic figure that
mean-
is Cortana.
Well, there's Cortana, yeah. So I'm hashtag Team Brotherhood. I'm still kind of stuck on. I think the big surprise cameo is going to be at X-Men. I don't know.
X-Man.
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 Well, X-Man. Well,
It's
technically,
It's
I
X-people.
want it to
X-person?
be- I want it to be
X-Force.
Magneto, which is hashtag Team Brotherhood. You know, so this is what I'm looking for. You can't see that because it's
Can't
all
see it.
bright.
Nope.
It's orange.
Got
Can you see
nothing.
Yeah.
nothing.
So I think I found that one for $47,000.
Yeah, well, this one's 350, and I don't
just-
know what.
Just buy that.
I can't.
And I am Master Grief. This is a lot of grief going on right now.
Hey, we're just trying to help eBay sales here, okay?
I need to just find.
There is
really
no
good
way that you guys are going to
comic
pay
book store.
$42,000 for something right now.
I wish.
No,
You got to
not
sell
right
your
now.
car to
I
get
have to
that.
sell one of my children. I am not
Well,
selling any children, just for the
If you
record.
invested in Bitcoin.
Just for the record, nobody on the Marauders is selling children.
No one is selling children.
No.
This is what happens when Ahmad takes a day off. I'm over here talking about selling children 3 minutes into the
That
into the
has nothing
show.
to do with Ace not being here. That has to do with you.
I miss Ace.
I did too.
We love you, Ace.
I'm hoping your boy wins.
Yes. For sure. Okay,
Let's
real
go.
quick. Let's get going on this. So since we're
Shall we?
talking, we talked about Halo a little bit. So it's coming to Paramount Plus, and I know
Paramount
Shane, you were the
Plus.
one that hit me with it. So why don't you talk about it for
kind
a
of a
second?
bummer. I'm a big Showtime guy, so it's still being produced by Showtime, but they announced, I believe it was either yesterday or today, that the Showtime or the Halo Showtime series is now going to premiere in Q1 of 2022 on Paramount Plus. It's a new streaming service from Paramount. It's going to have their movies, some original stuff, kind of like every other streaming service that's out there. But they now have Halo, which is a big deal for me. It's another streaming service I'm going to have to purchase, which sucks. But it's supposed to debut in Q1 of 2022. So January, maybe. But it's a bummer because I thought we would get it at the same time on Showtime. But it doesn't look like that's the case anymore. They've got the rights from Showtime. I don't know for sure if maybe Paramount owns Showtime or there's some kind of deal, or if it was too expensive. But it's going to be on Showtime now, or it's going to be on Paramount Plus, not Showtime now, starting Q1 of 2022. So that's a big catch for Paramount Plus.
That sounds like one of those things that most likely I'll wait for it to all be thrown out and I'll get it for a month and then call it good.
Yeah.
I don't know if there would be enough on Paramount to want me to actually have the service.
I know they've got that
for that.
They've got that Kevin Costner series. My wife watches it, and they're making a
is it
Yellowstone, and they're making a prequel to Yellowstone called like 1887 or something. And don't quote me on that year. That's just the title of the show. It's 18 something.
As much as I love Kevin Costner, you still haven't sold me yet.
I love me some Dances with Wolves.
I love me some Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah, that's my Kevin Costner.
What is it? The Brian? Who's the singer of the song from Robin Hood?
Isn't it
Brian Adams?
Is it Brian Adams?
Yes. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I would die for you.
That's right.
Come on, that needs to be our intro next week.
It's like the major. Yeah.
We'll get DMAC
Hood
pretty quick.
time, maybe. Yeah.
So, yeah, but anyway, so big
That's
Halo
actually
news.
pretty
It is
popular.
coming. Obviously, we haven't seen anything from it.
I'm not very excited about this because I don't want to have to buy another freaking subscription on something that I'm only going to watch one show on. Like,
everyone's got a streaming service now.
Why? Like, is it because their commercial didn't do good at the Super Bowl? Like,
it's because people are dropping TV. They're like.
I mean, I have Showtime. I have HBO. I have
movie theater.
but that's on Amazon on my Prime or whatever. But
do you have like a full subscription to anything though, like AT&T or?
Yeah, so I do have that too.
Okay, I mean,
but that's through AT&T. Like, just like our HBO Max is through AT&T.
Right,
like
as part of the bundle.
Part of your package.
It's the bundle, though. You're still packaging the same thing.
But now I'm having to add another thing to watch Halo, and it's like, seriously, I've been waiting years.
Bunny, remind me in early 2022, and maybe me and you can go halvesies and share the account.
Yeah, I would be fine with that. It's just
until they start cutting that back again.
Yeah. We only care about one show, so we can halvesies for a month.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
It's a bummer.
Put it on like HBO Max or Disney Plus or something like that, or Hulu. Put it on Hulu. I'd be fine with that.
So I have 2 internet accounts. I have one that's for the house, and then one that's for doing video and stuff. And the TV sometimes will flip back and forth between the two, and the family doesn't know, and so they there's a little thing that comes up that you're not in the same location because it's 2 different internets. So I went through every single one of them because it thinks it's like I'm trying to share Hulu with somebody, which sucks. And that's what they're going to start doing with all of them. They're going to get it to where it's, if you're, a lot of people probably wouldn't matter as much as what I have, but
yeah, but like I pay for the extra devices or whatever on like Hulu and stuff like that. And then Funimation, that's another one I just got, was Funimation, because we're big, anime fans that want to watch these animes that are coming out as they become dubbed. And
so what about Sony buying Crunchyroll? Like, how does that affect the anime market?
I thought Funimation bought Crunchyroll.
I thought Sony learned something new every day.
I don't watch any anime.
I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
Sony buy Crunchyroll?
What?
Did Sony buy Crunchyroll?
No. Funimation bought it.
Yeah, Funimation did.
Let's see. I don't know what the heck's going on.
Was owned by Sony?
I have no idea. Maybe. We'll find out.
Well,
I just know that they added a bunch of anime
it's another streaming platform that we've got to put up with. If you want to watch it, you're going to have to go do it.
Sony owns Funimation.
The other way.
Okay, that makes sense.
And they bought Crunchyroll. Sorry. I'm done.
No,
so,
I
Halo.
don't know. Yeah,
Halo.
It's exciting to see that it's coming to live action, especially as a series. Yep. But at the same time, this is a little disheartening because once again, it's just another subscription you have to pay for.
Yeah. I mean, it's been done very well. We've seen it with Forward Until Dawn, which I think was the lead into Halo 4 as the live action series they made. It had the Covenant, it had Chief. Amazing, just a killer series.
Before?
I think it was that story building up because it talks about Captain Keyes. It's the story of him as a child. And I'm sorry if you haven't seen it; it's been years. So Captain Keyes is a child. Master Chief saves him from the Academy. That's part like when they invade where the Academy is. I don't remember which planet it was. It's been a while. So the Covenant invades the Academy. Chief comes in there and saves him. Captain Keyes grows up to lead the what is the giant ship? Is it the Infinity or in the new Halo?
Forward Unto Dawn.
That's
okay,
Forward
so
Unto Dawn.
That's the title of the series. Yeah. So he goes on to Captain Forward Unto Dawn, and that's how he knows Chief, and they have the relationship. So I believe it's the lead into 4.
Okay, because I know 4 is where we get introduced to. Can't think of the name of the other creatures that show up. Oh well.
Oh, the Forerunner, or no, the
No. What are they called? I can't think of it.
I can't either.
I haven't played 4 since I borrowed it from Shane.
It's like
5 or 6 years ago.
With them out in space, and then 4 picks up because I don't even think 4 has.
Well, 3's the end. 3's the end of Bungie, and then we got 343i, which Microsoft bought the IP rights from Bungie. And that's how Bungie bought their freedom.
That was the whole Arbiter stuff, though, wasn't it? In 4,
3 was Arbiter.
Yeah, but 4 was the weird. It had to do with the Arbiter still, though. It was like the high something or whatever.
No, 4's introduced the new.
Can't think of what they're called.
Come on, chat. Come on.
Those ancient bad guys.
Yeah.
Yes, they came back. Hold on, I'm going to Google.
I used to know what they were called, and you fight that one guy at the end.
I really don't remember it.
He's like.
Did you play any of these, Cap?
Scary looking.
I played through all of the Halo games. Now I wouldn't say that I am so versed in as much as you guys know as far as the ship names. I play all the campaigns because I love the games. I'm a huge fan of their soundtracks. They have some of the best video game music.
Like that.
Yeah.
Prometheans.
Yeah. Very much so.
Prometheans. Yeah.
So good. So I even have that on my phone. I'll literally just listen to that track at work in my normal playlist. So I'm a big fan of their games, but I wouldn't say for me, it's not like Harry Potter where I could tell you every moment of every book. It's not, a lot of the different series, Marvel, anything Spider-Man, X-Men, those are kind of my wheelhouse. But Halo is a really great game series. And so, the last one was a little something. I could talk about the last one. The cliffhanger that they left us on.
Forget that we have that one.
Are we talking Halo 5 here?
Yeah, we're talking Halo 5. But
We don't.
all the games are really good, and then there's Halo 5, which
Halo
is still
5 is
fun
the
to play
episode
through,
8 of the Halo universe.
aside from the story.
Is
So-
the what? Episode 8?
It's the episode 8 of the Halo universe. It's terrible. It's terrible.
And then we have like Halo episode 5-1 that's trying to come out, or it looked like 5-1.
What do you mean?
I was talking about
I just got-
Infinite, the new one that's supposed to come out.
They
The
just
way it
Infinity
looked
Ward
when
us.
they
That's
showed
what-
it.
That's what annoyed me, how they Infinity Ward us. Like, like with the snap, that's the end of the movie. We got to wait for Endgame. That's what they did on 5. They're like, oh, we got to find the chief. Now we found the chief. Oh, now we got to go get Cortana. There's no closure there. And it was really aggravating. I mean, I'm sure it was a cool
Other than
concept
her
for
being
people.
bad.
No,
Yeah.
Cortana's storyline is garbage.
Cortana is not bad.
Cortana is not bad.
No,
They
not
made
a
her
bad
bad. Though.
She's an evil lady in that fifth
She's
one.
not evil. If you go back to the end of Halo 4, we're gonna tinfoil hat for a minute here. You go back to the end of Halo 4 when she breaks off her personalities. What is it? She goes rampant, and so she splits off into all those different personalities. All we're seeing in Halo 5 is one of her bad personalities. In Halo 6, I mean, maybe I'm assuming before the backlash. I don't know how the story's going to go with this new open world concept and all that, but I'm assuming we're going to run into one of the good personalities, and we'll get the original Cortana back. Because if they continue with this Cortana as the bad guy thing, like, you did the only thing that can break Halo. Good job. Other than make us
Pretty
not
much.
play Master Chief.
yeah.
Right.
Well, I feel like it's equivalent to. Do you guys ever remember, or if you were Walking Dead fans, and people would say if Daryl dies, we riot. So I kind of feel like it's equivalent to that. You make Cortana bad, we riot. Like that's just how it works.
Yeah, like you don't jack with Chief and you don't jack with Cortana. Everyone else in that series is fair game. Kill anyone else you want. Don't touch Cortana and Chief.
Yeah, it's the only world where I'm okay with a man falling in love with an AI that's in his head. Like
I dig it.
oh,
I dig it.
okay.
I'm totally okay with it.
That's
And in the
your line,
books,
huh?
I dig it.
What about a woman falling in love with an AI robot?
No,
WandaVision.
no. Okay,
It's the same thing.
Ah,
He's not wrong.
this is different because she's in his head, like she's in his helmet.
She
but-
is
Okay.
entirely just in
Real
his.
quick, let's move
Are we
on
moving
past
on?
Halo. I know we all love Halo. That's kind of our thing. And Ace isn't here to not like
To
it.
tell us that
because
he's not a Halo
he's
guy.
not a first-person shooter kind of guy. Yeah,
First-person shooter's the only way to play.
it's the only way I can play.
Well, I mean,
Anyway, so
RPGs.
real quick, let's hit our sponsor, Sonic,
Sonic.
which I got a
I
sweet
did
tea right here.
too. I got a Sonic.
It's good to have clean water back to see that they can serve drinks again in my state. So
Yes,
or my city.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in this part of the area we had some nasty weather, and it actually caused where we're at to a lot of lines broke, so we're coming out of all the funk that's been in
All
the
the
water.
boil water warnings and stuff. Now you can
Yeah.
actually make drinks again. Yeah.
Had to boil water for almost a week now, and that sucked.
No good.
First world problems.
Anyways, yes, for sure.
Definitely a first world
Most
problem.
people,
I'm on
most
well
people are just
water.
wishing they could
Yeah,
get
everywhere
water.
else in the world's like boil water.
Thank you, Sonic. We appreciate you for
We
supporting
do.
us
We
and
do. We do.
in all our ramblings and everything that goes along with it. Okay, let's go on to WandaVision, since we've already talked about AIs and robots and lovemaking and
Good segue.
kids and
Quality
making
segue.
kids and
They
stuff.
did make some kids.
We made some kids. We disappeared some kids. Actually,
Do you think they
So-
disappeared? I don't think they disappeared.
we did something.
They're
Let's
just
talk
in the
about
house
it.
hanging
Let's
out.
talk about it. Let's talk about
I've
this
got
last
my
episode.
theory. I've got my theories.
Well,
Did she put 'em
first,
in the
let's
books?
talk about the episode. And Brotherhood, you go first.
To
want you to
talk
talk.
about the episode.
We're just talking about episode. You go wherever you want to with it, and we'll
Well,
go from there.
I can tell you right now that as soon as she said her name, Agatha Harkness, my husband's sitting next to me, and I like slapped him, and I was like, "Ha! I told you so!" Like I was so excited because I was like, I just knew. And after seeing some of the comics, kind of doing research or whatever, and looking at some of the comics, you see that some of what they say is verbatim from that storyline, that 12 issue run or whatever. So I definitely think they're building up to what we would consider like a House of M moment, you know.
But in reverse, where she brings the mutants into the universe, or
well, no, not necessarily that part, but the multiverse that we're about to. I think we're about to see like a multiverse thing happen here.
Okay, since you're the wizard, my biggest question is, what is the book? Obviously, it ties straight into Doctor Strange when he goes in the library and there's one book missing, and all those books that look the same. There's one chain that's empty. So I'm guessing that's the book that's missing from the library. But what is the book?
It's I'm not 100%. I don't know much about what
there's thoughts on the book.
Yeah, that
there's a couple of different thoughts on the book, but go ahead.
Isn't it? It's like called Dark something. What the book is called?
I'm ready.
It's part of the Dark Forge.
It's basically like a witch's book of death.
Which they're saying, or some of the stuff that I've watched is that yes, it's a book about witchcraft or like satanic stuff because of some of the things that you saw down in the dungeon, like the ram's head, certain like I don't know, pictures, which make kind of lead you to believe is she ever going to see a Mephisto? I don't know. But my thoughts on that are, so that book is, I don't know, like her powers, that's where she gets her powers, which we all know that like Wanda is even more powerful than that. So, she's got like her magic, but on top of that, she's got the power she has from the Infinity Stone, which, they're saying is, I guess, what makes her a Nexus being.
The Darkhold?
The Darkhold.
The Darkhold is the room. So I was going to say, I watched a lot of stuff today. I went tinfoil hat today on all these different videos on different ideas and stuff, because I wanted to know. I mean, for me, I was like, why don't I recognize this book? Why don't I? But I never watched, I never read The House of M. But so that's been speculated that's the Dark Forge, which is actually tied into another bad guy, not Mephisto, and not Nightmare. It's actually tied into, and I'm going to probably pronounce this wrong. I don't know. Chthon.
So you know who Chthon was, right?
Chthon, yeah.
Demon. So he's a demon god that essentially is also tied into Wanda, and like
he's the one that taught her her magic.
Yeah, well, it's like I said, based on the story. So he marked her as a child, which actually is where she supposed to have drawn her power from this demon god, because he's supposed to be able to. He wants to eventually use her as a vessel to come back into the realm of Earth. The Dark Forge is actually another way he wants to try and come back into the realm of Earth. The book is actually a book that speculating, like based on the book, if that's the book we're talking about, he wrote it. And it's indestructible. It was written on like skin, which eventually was turned into stone. It's indestructible. And it's basically all of his magic, all of his spells, all of his knowledge, all of his magic written down in a book, and he can be brought back through that book through a spell by a devoted follower, and then I think it's some sort of like ritual, and people were speculating, they're going to use Wanda for it, but now they've been saying speculation that if he's the one that's tied to the kids, that it's actually going to be the kids they try and use, and that's why Agatha's been so interested in the kids. That's why in the second it's all about the kids, and from season 2 it's for the kids. It's all about the children that they have to use, which are somehow tied to Chthon, and they're going to try and use them or sacrifice or vessels to bring him back. And that's going to lead into Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange is going to have to try and fight him.
Because in the comics, the kids are actually made from like essence of Mephisto.
So piece of a soul or something?
Yeah, well, it's like pieces of a soul. But back to Chthon, he's the one that teaches her chaos magic, which is the magic that's able to, like you were saying, bring him back to this plane or whatever. But he does he takes her when she was a kid. But I mean, that'd be interesting if I guess I never thought about. I mean, I know about him and what he did. I don't know. I never thought of him actually being, because she's an adult. I don't know.
Right. I didn't either. Again,
did.
But they already used the Darkhold in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Runaways. So would they go back to that even though they've already introduced it, or do you think they would use it in a different way?
I thought Feige didn't use any of that stuff, though.
It says that they appeared in both the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Runaways.
It does. It is. There's a few things that at times it's mentioned because I have been recently watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and that's part of it. According to the different sources that I was going through, they were just like some sort of interview where they said that they probably wouldn't see Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as maybe canon.
Yeah, that's Feige doesn't consider it canon.
That's why I'd be surprised if they just take something they used in that series and then rehash it where they're trying to go. But it is a gateway into other dimensions, so it would fit where they're trying to go with the whole multiverse concept. So
yeah, well, it's all news to me.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's all new again, all new to me, and this was something. So like, I'm not surprised that I'm getting kind of skewed information about Chthon as far as his tie to him. I just remember this saying that he branded Wanda with the magic and to use her as a vessel, and then it's something to do with the kids. That's what they're speculating is that somehow that he's tied to. They're going to go away from Mephisto and do Chthon and tied to the kids. And that's been the play the whole time. Like Agatha's there, she's the servant. She's going to use the kids or Wanda to try and bring him back. And they're saying that's going to lead into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So either he's going to have to fight Chthon, either him and Wanda are going to have to fight Chthon, or possibly Doctor Strange and Wanda maybe has been used as a vessel. Who knows? But they're thinking that might be the bad guy from Multiverse now that we have all these Chthon references, Dark Forge in the book.
I find that interesting just because Agatha was like short for Mephisto. I think that's one reason why during this story arc or whatever, not this story arc, but the story arc in that 12 run series was he needed his essence back. So that's what she was supposed to go and do is go get the essence back.
Which would make sense with the kids. Sorry, Master Chief, for grief. It would make sense with the kids disappearing if that was her ultimate goal is to get the kids. I mean, because we don't know where the kids are yet. And then we see Pietro is obviously with her. If you watch,
we still don't know who he is, though.
That's what I'm saying, though.
All we know is that she's either hiding his who he is, or she actually created this person.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's clear that
we're trying to
he's on her side. So
and Chthon has I look into a comic book on this. Chthon has possessed Pietro before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he has possessed him before.
Interesting.
I think the one thing that obviously there's rumors about everything, but I know that in the whole little commercial that we had with the Nexus thing, where it talks about all the side effects of what was it? It was like facing your reality, and it was like the universe doesn't revolve around you, or does it? And it talks about and how you have something about the what was it? It literally said in there about I can't remember what they called it. Okay, somebody's gonna help me with this. It actually mentions your universe or the multiverse, and so I had to look into that to see what was going on with that, and I didn't know that she is considered a nexus because of the whole timelines and things that she can change the realities and stuff.
Yeah,
there's actually one in every line or whatever that is. So for her, she is our nexus for this realm that we're in. So she can actually change or go through stuff, change stuff. So she's obviously the biggest thing in this. I think the one thing though out of the whole episode that we had was that she actually did not care about anything on this one. She was just like, screw it. I'm done. I don't care. I'm going to open the door with my magic. You guys, I just need you to shut up, because I'm done. I'm spent. I can't control anything anymore right now. And then you see all this stuff flickering around her because she's losing her whatever that is.
Yeah.
After expanding that huge bubble. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No. Speaking of that, what you're saying there, I think it's just where she's losing control. of the reality that she's created. And I do find it interesting too, like the shape of the bubble that we're in, that it's still kind of that hexagon. I don't know if you guys watched the new Rockstars breakdown, but I found it interesting because it kind of referenced, not kind of, it did reference the Tesseract and how the shape of it isn't like a real shape that got like went into this physics thing or whatever. And I just going back to like the like you were saying, she's the Nexus being that we've got in this reality that we're in. What is this going to open the door for as far as Nexus beings go? This can even bring in King the Conqueror. This can bring in Jean Grey, you know, and then they start talking about all these other Nexus beings essentially that you can get from what I feel like she's about to do, which is bring on, I think she's going to be the one to bring on the multiverses.
Which would make sense.
Do you think she's going to break it somehow? Or do you think she is going to actually create, like in the books, they say that she creates that whole Sith?
So if you want to hear my theory, I can give it to you. But just
I mean, that's what we're here for. We're talking about theories.
I don't worry about it.
Spoiler alert. No, just in case. No, I'm just kidding. But my thoughts are, I don't think the boys have disappeared. I think what we're going to see happen is either the boys are going to disappear, die something in front of her, as well as Vision, and that's going to set her into what the House of M is.
She's finally going to break.
So she's going to see this even, you know, more so heartbreaking event where she's already lost her brother, she lost Vision. I feel like she's going to lose Vision again, as well as the boys, and that's going to make her create this multiverse.
Like she didn't even want it mentioned that Vision was dead.
Yeah.
Like when Monica came up to her and was like, "He's trying to take Vision," and she was like, "I don't want to hear it."
Oh, I have a question.
And just threw her up in the air.
Do you guys think that Hayward, that's his name, right? Do you think that he has do you think Vision's going to be like the weapon that goes off?
I don't know.
They've already weaponized, and they're just trying to press the button and see when he gets close enough to.
Yes, and I think that's what's actually going to happen. Is like that's going to be this catastrophic event that's like the ingredient needed. That's going to.
Wanda's going to have to destroy Vision again, like in Infinity War. She's going to have to take him out.
Yeah.
Or make the giant bubble around him or something.
But I think that's the ingredients that's going to set off the multiverses, is her trying to stop something, but I think it's going to be with him being the weapon that creates what we're about to see.
Well, I mean, Monica already said when they were reading through the stuff that they were trying, or I guess it was Jimmy Woo, wasn't it? Whatever is that his name? Somebody?
Yeah, Woo, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where he was talking about where she had found all the stuff, and it was talking about I don't know why I'm going blank on this. It's not cataract. It's something like cataract. I don't know why it's in
Operation Cataract. Yeah.
Yeah, it's where they had his body, and they've been trying to re-engineer him.
Hayward was already trying to put Vision back together and make him a weapon, and that's when she stole him. Was in that same time frame.
But
because she broke into their lab.
But Hayward's currently tracking him. Remember, Darcy pulled up that computer thing and it showed that, which is why it's already weaponized.
But would they know that they're tracking him? They don't know. They didn't get to finish anything that we know of, though.
No, they don't know
unless her bringing
that we know
unless her bringing him back. Yeah.
When you say they, are you talking about Shield?
Talking about
Sword,
yeah. Not Shield, Sword.
Sword. Yeah. I think Hayward's tracking him. I think he knows he's tracking him.
No, we know they're tracking him, but what we're saying is, did they before she came in and stole his body? Did they finish it?
Stole his body.
My theory is yes. Yes, I think when he told that one lady that we're about to do whatever operation, whatever, I think that's what it is.
My only issue with that is when her power breaks and we see dead Vision, we see his forehead gone and that's still all caved in. So like, was that just her imagining when he died, or is that picturing him when she stole his body?
I think it's just picturing it as the way she's got it in her head.
Because
she did the same thing with Pietro.
I think
even
it's
though
Agatha.
it was the other guy
I think
that's
that's
controlling that vision.
Yeah, Pietro threw me for a loop because I thought originally when she saw him dead, she was just seeing, you know, sometimes she gets a glimpse through her own illusion that she's creating something, you know, things are changing on her and she can't control it. I think that when she turned around and saw Vision that way, she was just maybe seeing through the veil of her own illusion and seeing the animated dead body that she's created.
That's what I thought.
For a split second. But Pietro threw me for a loop because unless we're talking about an actual reanimated dead person, then that, you know, then it might just be Agatha or her having a flashback moment. But I thought originally that she was just seeing through the veil, and that was just dead Vision being animated, which was creepy by itself.
Yeah, I thought that too. Yeah, but no, now I think that was Agatha, like, because I think Agatha's powerful, but I don't think that she's as powerful as Wanda. I don't think Agatha realizes how powerful Wanda is either. So I think that Agatha thinks she has a leg up on Wanda.
But if Agatha's drawing straight from the book, she could be more powerful than we expect if she's tapping straight into the book.
I mean,
correct.
But I don't. The only reason I say that is because of how Marvel created Wanda. They created her from an Infinity Stone, right? So like she's got that, what do they call it? Cosmic whatever radiation. I don't think that book has that. That book has more of like your ritualistic type stuff. That, which is why I think what sets her apart and makes her more powerful than that. Because I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No, you can finish and then I'll come back to mine.
No, I was just going to say because of I think a lot of that, my thoughts is because of how we started with Wanda. She's not starting as a mutant. She's not starting, you know, how she did in the comic. Right, she's a miracle. She's not a mutant. And then when she's a kid, she gets kidnapped by Chthon. He then kind of, you know, grooms her to be what she is. He teaches her the chaos magic on top of what her mutant powers are, which is what makes her so powerful in the comics. So now on the, you know, TV side or the movie side, because they didn't own the rights to him, I think it's almost like they're trying to backtrack and make it like this is why she's as powerful as she is, and I think that's what's going to set her apart from Agatha, and even the power of that book is the whole fact that she came from the Infinity Stone, or her powers came from the Infinity Stone.
Well, I mean, now that they have the whole X-Men and they can call people mutants and stuff now, they theoretically could say that she actually had all these powers, and all the Infinity Stone was like a catalyst to bring that out. I mean, there's a way of kind of going around that.
I mean, you could
100%, but it's still going to be different, I think, than what her story plot is or storyline is in the comics.
Well, I mean, we're already way past on that.
I mean, you could easily use the Infinity Stones and the cosmic radiation to introduce mutants. I mean, you know, you could describe it as something about when Tony Stark snapped everybody back. You know, however, some people that came back, you know, inherited the mutant abilities.
It wasn't quite right with their DNA when they got snapped back. Something was different, you know.
And there's a million ways to reintroduce, but I like the idea of more of her finally snapping, and then basically when she snaps and she breaks open the multiverse, that would be the way to introduce mutants to me. I mean, you know, because that's going to unleash hell. I mean, when she fractures reality.
And so, are you guys familiar with that storyline? Like, have you done any like?
I mean, I've read them, but it's weird because it's the exact opposite. You know, in the comics, she's the one that does away with the mutants. So,
right.
I mean, obviously,
there's a lot of different stuff in here because Monica was actually Captain Marvel. If you want to start at the beginning.
Well, no. What I'm saying is like her delusion in the comic of what you see is that like her like. Everybody's reality is screwed up, right? And they're going through these hard times and this, that, and the other. And then you have Wanda who's in this bubble, and she's like, you can show me that that's what's going on, but she's like crazy insane type.
Because she finally loses it.
That she's in. And so like if they do pull that, it's just crazy because as she changes things, it affects the realities that everybody's going through. So it's almost like it's an aftershock or something like that of what's going on in the real world versus what's going on in her mind or her delusion.
Well, one thing I noticed with Agatha, when we actually got to see that she had some powers, was that she actually did the thing that we saw Wanda do with Hulk when she did the little possession thing and his eyes get all hazy and you saw the red and stuff. And you had the purple with her on Wanda, and it shows she's got more control than what we think, at least with using her, her feelings right now. She's more susceptible to whatever's going on. So,
can we,
anyways,
I was saying, can we take a minute to appreciate the introduction, even though we knew it was coming, of Spectrum, Pulsar Spectrum, Monica Rambeau, in her power coming through the thing. I really hope that they. I mean, I know they said her going through the boundary was messing with her DNA, but with the X-rays and the how bright her being was on the X-rays and her not being surprised about it, I really hope that she has been or had these abilities for longer than just that moment. And that way she kind of has an idea of her power and not like I'm really trying to learn these. I want her to kind of know a little bit of what she's doing because I really want to see her kick some ass. When she comes up there and is able to sort of fight back against Wanda, really step back against her and show off her powers a little bit. I really liked the shocked look, the acting ability of Olsen to be able to like look genuinely surprised at the fact that she's not just a person. She's special like she is. Her eyes were glowing, her body was glowing, and she was able to step back toward Wanda, and it really freaked Wanda out that she was, able to step back and had some power to her and could sense it. And I loved how she has the ability, and that's kind of one of her abilities, but to sense everything around her, the magnetism and the electric magnetic fields around her, like when she came through the barrier and the wires and the Matrix kind of moment where she could see everything that was happening. And someone pointed out that in the show, when Wanda goes down into the dark forge, she sees all the vines and stuff like that. There's no light. There's nothing pulsing through those vines. But when Monica pops those doors open, she sees the purple glow of the energy running through the vines. Now, I don't know if that's just gee whiz, side note, no big deal, or the fact that Monica can actually sense the power running through those vines, whereas Wanda didn't see it, or wasn't looking for it. So I'm really interested to see if this next episode is going to start with some sort of fake Pietro Monica mini boss battle. At the beginning of this episode.
I think you're correct for seeing the energy. I think that's her powers versus.
Yeah, and her ability too, like, they said that off doing research on her and saying that one of her abilities is that over time she can essentially absorb and recreate or use the powers of the people that are used against her. And so while at the beginning, Wanda and Agatha might have the upper hand in causing her some sort of damage, as she continues to battle or fight with them, or if it's recurring or something like that, she's going to begin to get on a level, if not be better, start to become able to fight back more adaptively, I guess. So I'm interested to see how her character fares against these two other characters with such a different kind of power set. You got a sorceress, another sorceress, and this other person that's, kind of essentially like Captain Marvel as far as powers go. To see that kind of power against these two sorceresses and see how those battles are gonna go. I'm interested. I'm hoping they're gonna lead up to some sort of big climactic badass battle. So I'm interested to see how that's gonna play out. But her coming through, trying to ram the rover through and popping that wheelie on it, and then going through the barrier, it was really cool. It was a really cool sequence. So now they've got three. They've got Monica, you've got Vision, and I think is there one more, Darcy, there's three people in the city that are no longer really under control of Wanda, Agatha, or whatever. They're kind of three unknown chess pieces that can kind of go against the grain and can cause a lot of funky stuff. in the plan. So I'm interested to see how they're going to do that, because it used to be just, one was suspicious and that was it. But now now you got three unknown pieces. So
well, the last thing we saw was Vision flew through the roof of the funnel cake truck, and
that was great.
He was going to Wanda, but we don't know where he's at now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys think we were going to see Reed Richards though?
God, I hope not.
The lead into you talking about the Fantastic Four right this early? I don't know about this early on. I think they're really testing the waters with mutants right now to go diving into the Fantastic Four.
I think that's what we're building up for, is the Fantastic Four, just because of the things at play right now.
There's too many.
I think we are going. I still say it's Doctor Strange. It's one person that Paul Bentley never got to work with, and that he's always wanted to work with because he's a famous actor. I think that's who we're going to see, which is going to directly lead into Doctor Strange, the multiverse.
It would make the most sense. I mean, there's been rumors that it could be Spider-Man. I don't really see that. I really don't.
I don't think so. I don't
know why. Unless he's trying to beat Iron Man and do like that whole, I'm going to take over and be in charge and I'm going to show up and assess the situation. I don't see that.
I'm still calling it as Magneto. So the older Magneto.
And X-Men would make me the most happy. I'm ready for them to bring them into this.
If Ian McKellen comes in, I will be happy.
That's Luke Skywalker worthy.
That would be a tier Magneto for me.
I just hope that it is Doctor Strange, because honestly, as far as rights go and sense with the movie coming out, that would make the most sense is Doctor Strange with what's going on, the book and the sorcery and all that stuff. It makes the most sense him showing up.
But he's worked with Benedict Cumberbatch before, hasn't he?
Not that I know of.
I just hope that if it is Doctor Strange, they don't do a Luke Skywalker moment where we're only going to see Doctor Strange for that last,
few
10 seconds. And then they cut it off and say he'll be back in the multiverse of madness, whatever the case is. Like, but come on, give him some lines.
That sounds exactly like a Marvel movie, though.
Yes, and that sucks, because
especially the last three, like Endgame and Infinity Wars. That's exactly what they did.
I know, and that sucks because he's such a when I first, again, Doctor Strange, not one of the Marvel comics that growing up I was revolved around. Again, my wheelhouse was Spider-Man and X-Men. That was the house that I lived in, and so I was learning a lot about Guardians of the Galaxy and Doctor Strange, and watching Doctor Strange and the sorcery and the concept, and not only that, but Benedict Cumberbatch being an amazing actor, I fell in love with the character and the concept of magic and multiverse and all the different, I just fell in love with his character, and so I want to see him put to use in this and not be like, here's a teaser, here's a taster, and then that's it. I was like, come on, don't do that. Don't do that to me.
So they announced the Spider-Man, the new title is Spider-Man No Way Home. They released a little teaser in that, and you see them walking through like the hallways, and them and Zendaya are making a joke, and they go by the whiteboard. We see all the names scratched off, but they have hexagons all over the board.
Can we pull up a picture?
Yeah, let me share my screen. Hold on. Do you have it?
Okay.
Yeah, hang on.
If you got it, put it up and I'll.
Yeah, let me share my screen.
I feel like we could break this picture apart, maybe figure out how it's going to end.
Yeah,
and here's one of my thoughts. I don't know if these are y'all's thoughts, but I think that, because I did look it up, Falcon Winter Soldier is happening simultaneously around the same time that WandaVision is. I think we're going to see the effects of whatever happens in WandaVision in Falcon Winter Soldier. Those are just my thoughts.
That would make sense.
Yeah, it would make sense. And like I said, because that's the thing about Marvel is they love to talk about. They'd love to get.
Yeah, I can't get it bigger.
Here,
they love to do the cross storylines. This impacts that, and so that's one good thing about Marvel. You can expect that if it's running the same timeline, that whatever happens at the end of WandaVision is going to somehow impact, even if it's at the very end of Winter Soldier and the Falcon. It's going to be like involved somehow. They're going to tie it in some way, which I think is going to be great. So,
which, if you think about it, WandaVision is what, 3 weeks after Endgame, but the last Spider-Man movie was 7 months after that. So the events of WandaVision have already happened, right?
I don't know the timeline on this one.
Not this Spider-Man, the last one, the Far From Home. That one was like 7 months from Endgame. So technically, WandaVision's already happened in the Marvel Universe, right?
Has it?
It's after the snap. The snap. Right. We had the snap back.
Isn't it like 3 weeks after the snap?
I don't know how much time is advanced.
The only reason I say that is if you go back and watch Far From Home, and there's just some little hints about witchcraft and stuff like that.
Well, Far From Home No Way Home is supposed to start right after Far From Home, right?
Right, but that's after all of that's after WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier.
I mean, No Way Home would lead us to believe, and with all the hexes that clearly, and obviously we've got Doctor Strange, we know that Spider-Man's going to have something to do with the multiverse. Then we've had all the rumors about the different Spider-Mans being in this one.
Which Tom Holland said,
yes, please.
There's no extras.
Right. You don't believe anything
You can't believe a word out of Tom Holland's mouth.
That kid does not,
Yeah, they probably didn't even give him the real script. He doesn't know what he's filmed. Probably. So, yeah. Most likely,
just say these words. We're not telling you anything else.
Exactly. He just films everything in front of a green screen, and then they just edit it. But I mean,
they said No Way Home was right after Far From Home.
Well, that's the way I understand it. Is that it's gonna pick up. It's gonna pick up when No Way Home ends. Or God, when Far From, it's gonna pick up right there with that story.
Well, how long? I would say so. There's
Home ended with Mysterio, right? And
well, what's the time frame though? What's the time frame from them being snapped back, going back to school? Months. Yes, right. Because that's how long was it from Wanda taking Vision's body again?
3 weeks.
Okay.
From the snap.
Okay.
Like 2 or 3 weeks from the snap, bringing him back.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how exactly it's going to tie together. I mean, that's all. That's why they pay Feige.
My thoughts is that they're screwing with us, essentially. Like, we've already seen in the future what's going to happen because of Far From Home, but now they're going to fill the gaps of the multiverse story. I don't know.
And that would be weird to me. I mean, if something as major as the multiverse had already happened, and then there's no mention of it in the last Spider-Man film, and even when you look when he goes overseas and stuff, still the big thing he's dealing with is Tony Stark. So if there had really been a fracture in reality, I don't see how he could just pretend it doesn't exist. Especially because we see when he comes back, he's like, "What's that?"
If you go back and watch Far From Home, there's little snippets about witches and witchcraft and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just.
But would you get a little snippet when someone literally broke reality? I don't know.
I don't know what we got.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's tinfoil hat season in the Marvel universe.
Can we appreciate that it's this complex? It's not like a lot of like different storylines where you can see it coming from a mile away. This one's actually got us confused as hell. Can we just appreciate that for a moment?
Exactly. This is exactly what I love, because it reminds me so much of Game of Thrones when I would predict things and then the freaking episode would happen. I'd be like, God, I did not see any of that coming. So
yeah. Anyway, we got 2 episodes left, so we'll know more tomorrow.
So where do you think we are at with who do you think our final bad guys are going to be?
Oh.
I'm on this Chthon train. I'm on it. I too many references in this last episode. Too much sense with Pietro and all the different characters, the book, the Dark Forge. There's just too many ties in where they can't be like, you thought I was Mephisto and Nightmare this whole time. Now it's Chthon. No one ever thought that until this one episode. So that would be something I think would be, because everybody knew Agatha was Agnes was probably Agatha. Everybody kind of guessed that. Now we got confirmation. But no one said Chthon. No one that I heard said Chthon until this last episode. And that'd be a Marvel thing. Like, surprise, it's not the bad guys you thought it was. So I'm on the Chthon train.
You're on the. Yeah, that's where you're at with it.
He's with Chthon.
I have.
He's with. So you're with the thong. The thong train.
I'm on the thon. I'm
Oh,
on the
the
thon
thong.
train. Yep. The thon. Yep.
I have no idea.
Please don't make me do that again.
You're welcome.
I keep trying to look for this whole set of where things are at, but there's nothing. There's nothing on
Are you talking about the
everywhere.
timeline?
Yeah, I mean, all the timelines give me like the timelines of where they're going to put stuff out, but it's not the same as like the actual time where it's at. And by the way,
send you the
Charles,
link. I'll send you some videos of where I got the timeline.
yeah, we'll post some of that for you guys to see. How about that? We'll find
Yeah.
it and we will post it what the
Perfect.
timeline is, and we'll all know together. And
Yeah.
Charles, Babyface is with his kid watching hoops.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's doing
Hoops
good.
tonight.
Ace, we miss you, bud.
Yeah,
Love you.
you should let us know how he's doing. But anyways, my guess is still Mephisto.
You
That
still
would be
say
my
Mephisto.
guess.
Only because of the boys, Agatha. And you know, Agatha, like, she's in a lot with Wanda. Like, even the Vision comics, just the Vision comics, where Scarlet Witch comes back, Agatha's in it. I'm like, she's got a really big part with Wanda. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with her character, if it's just going to end with WandaVision or if we're going to see more of her going forward, because she does a lot. She's a bad guy for Wanda. She's a mentor for Wanda. She's kind of like an in-between, you know,
A
like
nanny.
bad guy, good guy. Yeah, a nanny. Like, it's crazy the different things she does in Wanda's upbringing, I guess you could say, like,
It's
of her magic and everything. So
it's hard to see her as a Doctor Strange level villain though. Like, she seems more like the side.
yeah, no,
Like
exactly.
some of
Yeah,
the
no.
guys under
her is
Thanos.
the main. No, I don't think her is the main baddie,
Yeah.
but
I think Mephisto.
By the way, I'm going to drop this in so you can see that. This is what the captain
Yeah.
wanted to show you. That's where the thong took over Pietro.
the phone.
The thong.
yeah, Pietro Maximoff is no more. I am Chthon, and I will take over the earth in the blink of an eye. I think he says on that frame.
In the
So
blink of a thong.
just one more
I'm not gonna let that
tick
go.
for Chthon.
We need to move on. Yeah, I'm vetoing thong talk. We're done. We're done. We're done.
So
who do you think the big
The-
baddie is going to be there? 117.
yeah,
I'm just enjoying this
Tell us.
ride, guys.
That's not the answer.
I'm just here to enjoy this ride.
He did say he thought. I think he agreed with you on Mephisto earlier.
I agree with you on Mephisto. I think it's the most natural fit. I think he'd be a good overarching bad guy for this next phase. I mean, I think the book is interesting, but I mean, you bring in another god, you know, it feels too much like another Thanos to me. I like the idea of Mephisto, but I mean, again, I'm just enjoying the ride. I'm just enjoying it. I'm just here to enjoy each episode, and then I put on my tinfoil hat and I go read all the theories. And I'm just enjoying it. I think it's Mephisto. I could be totally wrong, and I'm totally cool with that. Like, I'm excited to see where we go with this phase.
I guess I don't know. I saw something, didn't they? I saw something that said that if it was Mephisto, that would somehow cause some kind of issue with being able to show the show in China. I guess there's some sort of.
I saw that debunked.
Is that okay? I saw something that was saying that there was some issue with like showing that kind of character in China.
Yeah,
So-
because
Tinfoil hat.
Marvel's devil, essentially, and you can't have the devil on TV in China. But I guess there's a workaround. I don't know.
Gotcha.
So does-
I just
It's not
thought
like, he's not going to like run around with like.
He's not gonna have a
pitchfork
ponytail and
ponytail.
red horns.
Right.
They could completely get around that.
Did Hellboy get shown in China, or was it banned?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Do some
He wasn't really
But-
the devil though.
But he's a devil. He's a product of the devil,
Here's
and he
the
does
only
grow.
reason too why I think Mephisto's a good character to bring in is if you guys go and look and see the impact he has on so many characters. That is the Avengers. That is the Fantastic Four. That is Ghost
Stop
Rider.
with the Fantastic Four.
Daredevil.
Nobody
Like-
except you wants to see that garbage.
I
We
don't
tried
want to
it.
see that.
It sucks.
I'm listing all the different characters that he impacts in the Marvel universe, like all of them, essentially X-Men, like all of them.
They just need to quit sinking money into the Fantastic Four. How many
They're
times
not
does it
going
have to fail?
He's already
before we-
announced that he's going to do the Fantastic Four. Like that, they're doing that before they do X-Men.
It's retarded.
Like,
I
agree.
think. I think
take your time with X-Men because I'm about burned out on the X-Men Dark Phoenix, and I was like, just get us a good storyline, please. Take your time.
We're gonna be fine on X-Men, but we don't need to rehash Fantastic Four.
I think
we already are, though. We already are.
I think if we go Mephisto and all these other characters, the hardest thing is going to be we already had Loki, and Loki was kind of that same type of character, though. As far as like the whole witches side of things, he was obviously a trickster more than anything because he could make himself look like other people. But I think that's going to be something to get around and have that not seem like the same, in my opinion.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm just along for the ride. We'll know more tomorrow.
Yeah,
and we'll probably have more questions.
I will definitely
a ton
be
more in a few hours.
Once I get my comics in. Should be.
Yeah, I very much want to see those.
12 issues.
Very much.
I'm going through them. I'll send. Yeah.
Very much.
There's all sorts of stuff because I'll be like, I've figured it out.
And then I've got it all. I got all the answers, guys.
Before we drop off, the Bad Batch, the follow, well, basically the Clone Wars sequel, comes out May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
New Star Wars.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
and it looks neat. I'm very interested to see the transition from the clones to the stormtroopers, and it's going to be neat to see that transition done. I think for the first time because we're going to see it from a clone's point of view.
Clones, yeah.
So I'm curious to see like are they for the Empire once they transition? Do they is it like Rex and were they resisted? So I'm very curious to see that dynamic. Do we get Vader? I mean, we know we have Palpatine in it, so I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
And along that same vein, we actually, I don't know if any of you guys had actually seen the stuff that I had sent, but yes. We're getting the Bounty Hunters comic, which has to do with Boba Fett and the time frame right after Empire Strikes Back when he gets Han in the carbonite. He actually loses Han.
What?
Before he gets to
I hadn't seen that.
Oh, that'll be fun.
We're actually getting a fight with him trying to find Han Solo, and there's a huge comic set. Yes,
that's cool.
Where he's going to fight other bounty hunters and things like that.
Oh, because they all want to claim the bounty.
They all want to claim the bounty from Jabba, and then Jabba's trying to get it himself. And then the other comic that goes along with what you said with the Bad Batch is it's called Secrets of the Sith, which is actually going to talk. It's going to be from like Emperor Palpatine's view, and he's actually going to go through like what the Sith look like now from that time frame with Darth Vader.
I'm here for it.
We haven't seen.
I'm here for it.
It looks like it's going to be good and dark. Definitely a lot darker than normal.
I thought that was a book.
These are comics.
Okay.
These are actual comics.
That's cool.
So we got a lot of stuff coming down the pike for everything. So
we got to catch up. There was nothing new in 2020. It's time to start getting stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
I know. We're actually getting some stuff dropping constantly.
It's good stuff too.
We love you guys. How about we start some of this again?
As always.
Go back to this.
This is a good way to go out.
We can close out some
really
Halo.
So
we love you guys. We are here every Thursday at 7:30. We are the Marauders. Love you guys. Thanks for coming in with us.
See you next week.
Love you. Be gone.